Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I'll show you how to make a keto pulled pork recipe that you can make in your crock pot or in your oven, along with a bright and crunchy coleslaw that will serve alongside it. I know you guys are going to love this one, so let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off by making our dry rub. In a glass bowl, I'm adding 1/3 cup of Swerve brown sugar replacement, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I'm using a teaspoon each of ancho chili powder and chipotle chili powder because I really like the smoky flavor that they give to this. I'm also adding 2 teaspoons of salt and some black pepper. I know this sounds like a lot of salt, but remember this is a large piece of meat, and of course you can add or subtract this amount according to your taste. So I'm just using my whisk to break up the lumps and whisking it all together until everything is well incorporated. For the pulled pork, I'm going to be using a bone-in pork shoulder, also known as a pork butt. The one I have is about 7 pounds. I like to use a cut of meat that is bone-in for recipes like this, as it produces a more flavorful and tender result. So we'll take our dry rub and evenly coat the entire pork shoulder on all sides, making sure to press in all of the spices. This is a messy job, but it's important to make sure that the pork shoulder is evenly coated. If you are fortunate enough to have a smoker, this would be the time to use it, but I haven't got one, so I'm going to be cooking this in the oven. So in a heavy pot, I'm going to place in my pork shoulder along with about 1/2 inch of water, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and a teaspoon of liquid smoke. The liquid smoke will help to mimic the flavor you would get from smoking this in a smoker. I also like to add a couple bay leaves before covering it and placing it in a 225-degree oven for 8 to 12 hours or until it is fall apart tender. If you're using a crock pot, you'll just turn your crock pot on low for about 12 hours. The amount of time it takes to cook will of course depend on the size of your pork shoulder. While that is in the oven, we can get started on our coleslaw. I'm making a British-style coleslaw today that is unsweetened. It's so simple to make, and I think it pairs really well with this recipe. To keep things easy, I'm just using a bag of pre-shredded cabbage and carrots. It's about 14 ounces. To that, I'm adding 1/2 a small onion that I finely diced, as well as 1/2 cup of sour cream and 1/2 cup of avocado mayo. You could replace the sour cream with plain yogurt, or you could just use all mayo if that's what you have. We'll also add in the juice of 1/2 a lemon, salt and pepper to taste, and really that is it. I did decide I wanted to add a little more color to this, so I sliced about 1/4 cup of green onion and mixed it in. Cover it with plastic wrap and set it in the fridge. After about 10 hours, give or take, remove your pork shoulder from the oven and allow it to cool for at least 15 minutes to 1/2 an hour. After it has rested, it's ready to pull apart. The meat should shred easily, and you should be able to pull the bone right out. I like to add a little bit of the cooking liquid back to the meat to keep it moist. Serve this up with your favorite keto barbecue sauce. And if you'd like to see a recipe for that, check out last week's video, which I'll leave a link down below. Then just pile on your coleslaw and enjoy. I really enjoyed making this recipe and I do hope you give it a try. As always, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.